rev up your engines. Today I'm going to tell you 5 things you should never do if you're going to be driving your car fast. Yes, believe it or not, when I was young I drove really fast. And I did it in these American muscle car boats like the '68 Cougar. And I survived without a scratch. So I can do it in these old things. I'm going to teach you how you can do it in modern cars that drive a lot better. The first and most important thing not to do, don't coast. Don't have the vehicle in neutral and be gliding. I mean, I know guys try that all the time, or I'm going to get better gas mileage or whatever. But if you're coasting, especially if you're going downhill or cornering, realize that the engine is part of the whole picture here. And if it's just in neutral, you're not getting engine braking. You're not getting the force that the engine has a little drag on the drivetrain when you're cornering and taking your foot off the gas or stepping on the gas. The engine's spinning, it's like a centrifuge, and it affects the geometry of the car, how it goes down the road. So if you're driving fast, don't ever glide, put it in neutral. The race car drivers are always in some kind of gear when they're driving because they get ultimate control of the machine. You take it out of gear, you're losing some of that control. The thing not to do when you're driving fast is don't hold the steering wheel incorrectly. They used to tell you to hold the steering wheel like this, but in modern cars they say, hold it here, 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Now in this old '68, it doesn't make all that much difference because it doesn't have an airbag. You're not gonna have the airbag if it goes off blast and have your wrist go smacking into your head. But if you have a modern car, they all have airbags. And if you ever hold it too close to the airbags, when they blow, boom. So you want to have your hands apart in case something does happen and the airbags blow. And when it comes to steering wheels, here's how you drive. If you're making a right-hand turn, you push with the left hand and pull with the right hand. And conversely, if you're making a left-hand turn, you pull with the left hand and push with the right hand to make it corner right. The most important thing not to do is don't even care about your surroundings. Just drive as fast as you want wherever you want, because you really need to know the path you're taking if you're driving fast. Take a race car driver. What do? They practice over and over the track to see when do they have to brake, when can they go full speed. You have to understand where you're driving first. As an extreme example, I've ridden motorcycles my whole life, and when you go fast in a motorcycle, hey, you're a little thing on 2 wheels. Anything out there can finish you off. So when I drove fast, what I would do was I would do a little reconnaissance. I'd do it out in the country where there wasn't much traffic, and then you check out the roads. And if you found that, hey, from one farmer's house to the next, there's a 2-mile stretch where there are no driveways even coming to the road, you know, nobody's going to be sneaking up on you when you're driving really fast. You got to understand, if you're taking a curve and then you're going to a straightaway, you don't just step on the gas and go through the curb as fast as you possibly can. You have to do a little braking first as you go into the curb, and then once you get going, you give it some gas to go through. You just don't keep your pedal to the metal. You got to use sense if you're driving fast. You want to understand that sometimes to go faster, you have to brake first. Don't talk to everybody, blare music out, not paying any attention to what you're doing while you're driving. If you really seriously want to drive fast, turn off the radio, do it solo. Don't have anybody else in the car. You might think, oh, what's a little music? Well, yeah, you got the radio turned up, you're not paying attention. You don't get emotionally involved when you're driving fast. You have to be stone cold sober when you do that stuff. It's been proven that if you got the radio blaring up loud, you're not paying full attention to what you're doing. And realize the faster you go, the quicker your reaction time has to be, because you're going to be getting to other cars faster. You're going to be having to make faster decisions if something happens. And having loud music on actually does the opposite. It slows your reaction time down. Having a bunch of people in your car talking, that is very distracting too. I mean, it's been proven with statistics that especially younger drivers, if there's a guy and his friend all blabbing away in a car, That's when the wrecks occur. They're all listening to each other. And when you add cell phones into the mix, people either talking or watching videos, that's a recipe for disaster. You're best to drive fast solo. Because if you're driving fast, you're not going to have the time to think, oh gee, what should I do in this situation? You have to have all that stuff in your noggin already, and when something does happen, you know how to react, and you just do it calmly. You want to plan way ahead when you're driving fast, because the faster you go, the more you got to plan ahead. Those things are going to be coming at you quicker than they normally do. So you have to plan ahead. And if you see a situation where, oh, there's really trouble ahead, don't step on the gas. Slow down then. Use your noggin on that too. There's sometimes when it's time not to drive fast anymore, it's time to slow down. So now you know 5 things not to do if you're going to drive fast. And really, if you are going to drive fast, take my advice. Do it solo. Because all joking aside, driving fast is a serious business. And you want to be serious and have 100% concentration on the road when you're doing it. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.